So sorry I had to cut off. My colleague kind of was walking in and I didn't. Good morning and happy Friday. Good morning. My name is Diana and I am a 14th year teacher in the state of Illinois, and welcome to my channel. Alrighty, so it is Monday, August 19th, and we are officially back for our new school year. So we started on Friday. I didn't vlog anything that day because I didn't really know what to expect. And so, right, sorry, forgive me, that sun is very bright. I didn't know what to expect in terms of like the kids and what we were supposed to be doing, and I knew it was going to be a really busy day. And also my principal started implementing this thing that they used to do a long time ago called recess rodeo, and so we were trying to get the kids prepared for that because I think they haven't done it in a few years, and I think that he was really excited to bring it back. So basically what it is, it's the students, the 6th grade students particularly, they like, we get a list of like things that the kids can do during recess time, and so their job is to like learn the rules, and then today and tomorrow they're gonna teach it to the kids, like the younger grades from like K to 5, and teach them how to like use the equipment and like the rules of the game and like the do's and don'ts of just recess, which I think is pretty cool because it gives the kids, you know, leadership and ownership, and you know, at least that kind of tells me that, hey, you know, the 6th graders aren't going to be doing X, Y, and Z in recess because, you know, they've learned it and they've implemented it, and they've kind of, almost kind of like the routines and procedures, you've done it, so you know how to do it. So yeah, so that was what we did the afternoon on Friday, was teaching them. So we didn't really have a lot of time, and then during the day we were just doing a lot of the get to know you activities. Some of the things that we had did was like an all about me. I did like a teacher survey. So I gave them like something that they can predict about me, and then I gave them like the actual answers. And then we did what else did we do? We did some read alouds. Because I guess it's a little different at this school. Embedded in their schedule is like their second recess. So they have like a morning recess, which is almost kind of like a brain break, I guess. And then they have like a regular like lunch recess. But for the regular recess, like the brain break, we take them out or whatever, and they get like, I don't know, maybe 15 minutes, something like that. I don't know. I can't remember, because I mean, maybe a little bit more, because when we come back, they do like a snack, and they do, and we do like a read aloud. Like I could have them do like silent reading, But I thought that this was like a great opportunity to start embedding some like read alouds, because I know, if you remember my vlogs from last year, I'd have my 2 classes, and one of them I would do read alouds, and then the other ones I would always like fall short because we just didn't have time. Like, because I would do it at like the end of the day where the kids were, you know, getting ready to go home, and then my other class I just didn't have the time to do it. So this is nice that we can do some read alouds. I mean, of course, I'm sure throughout the year I'll embed the silent reading or independent reading, and then yeah, and so I think maybe also incorporate some SEL in there on certain days, because I know we're supposed to be doing that as well for second step. So yeah, I'm hoping to get a nice solidified routine in the coming like days to weeks. It's just because it's so chaotic. Like this week, you know, we're doing the recess rodeo the first 2 days, like in the morning, and then I think on Wednesday in the afternoon they're doing map testing for ELA, and then Thursday they're doing map testing for math, and it's just like right away. I mean, this is our official first full week of school, and we're jumping right into it, which is fine, because I mean it gives us a spectrum of where the kids are and what we need to be working on like earlier. So, but I am super pumped. The kids are great. They are so sweet. It's kind of interesting because the chattier ones were the boys. I had a couple of boys that were just constantly like talking during like, you know, lessons, or constantly talking while I was talking, and it was just very, very surprising, because I figured the girls would be a little bit more like that, but they weren't. So so this morning I will be changing some seats. But yeah, so I let them sit where they wanted, and you know, I kind of made the joke about the movie Dangerous Minds, where I was like, you know, she's like, oh, I gave everybody an A, but you know, the harder part is for you to keep the A and, you know, earn the A, or, you know, rather than just like you starting from the bottom. So you're starting from the top, and it's up to you to stay there. So I told them the same thing. I'm like, this is the seat you want to sit, great, you got to earn it, so you got to keep it. And you know, unfortunately a couple of my boys didn't keep it. So but yeah, so I'm on my way to school. It's 7:17 right now. It takes me about 20 minutes to get there, which is half the time of my old school district, so I'm happy about that. So I'll get there a little sooner, and we get out early today. We get out at 2 because they're trying to embed like planning time and meetings on these Mondays, so they're like letting the kids go early, an hour early, and then we stay for that hour and do whatever we need to do. So yeah, so yeah, I will, if I don't check in with you guys during the school day, because you know, now that like I'm open, you know, I haven't been recording in my classroom in terms of like speaking, because like I said, I just want to make sure that I'm honoring everybody's space. But I will, maybe I'll record some content of what I'm doing at school, and then obviously do my voiceovers, and then yeah, so I will see you guys in a little bit. Hope you're having a great day. Happy Tuesday, and so sorry that I did not vlog anything after field day. Sorry, I had to take off my seatbelt for a second, and now it won't go back on. Yeah, so I didn't vlog anything past field day, or I'm sorry, not field day, what am I saying? Recess rodeo. It was a very fast and quick day. You know, after we got back, we did a snack, and then we went back out again for recess rodeo for the second half of it, and then we came back, and then we did a quick little activity, and then we went to lunch, and then we came back, and then They had their specials, and then by the time they came back, we did another activity, and then we went home because yesterday was an early release day because we had like meetings in the afternoon, and so on Mondays they send the kids home at about 2 o'clock. These glasses are not mine, but I grabbed mine to bring with me, and I still forgot anyway. So, anywho, yeah, so we stop and put gas really quickly. Yeah, so we went and so we just did all that, and then we had our meeting, and so by the time it was all said and done, I was already home, and so yeah, it wasn't too eventful. But give me 1 second, I'm gonna put gas, and then I will be back. I struggled to put this on, just take it right off. All right, gas is pumped, and I am on my way. So it says I should be there by like 7:40, which I probably would have preferred to be there a little bit earlier instead of a half hour or so beforehand, but whatever, it is what it is. I was talking to my mom, she was at home today, so you know, I was just having a nice conversation with her. Come on, person, what are you doing? Anyway, can't you tell it's the morning? Anywho, so today in class we are going to continue doing recess rodeo, but for today we're doing primary. So we're doing all primary. I don't know why I said it that way. We're doing primary in the morning. So it's like the same schedule. We're gonna be, all right, this person is taking forever to turn, and I don't want to be that person where I'm like cutting someone off, but I'm like, dude, we will be here forever if you do not go. Come on, sir, please go. All right, I think this is one of those times where I go in and I do what I need to do. There we go. Because you are taking forever, sir. Anyway, so sorry. I mean, I have a little slight road rage. Anyway, so yeah, so we're gonna be doing recess rodeo in the morning for the 2 primary groups. I think it's kindergarten first and second, so we're gonna be doing those in the morning. Then we're gonna have snack. Then we're gonna continue in the in the later morning, and then come back for recess lunch, and then after that, the afternoon I believe is ours. Well, actually no, scratch that. We have 2 specials today. We have gym and we have art. So they go to specials at the regular time at 12:40 to 1:10, and then at 1:48, such a random time, they go from 1:48, I believe, to like 1:18 or something like, or 2:18 or something like that. And then we have those 45 minutes for the rest of the afternoon. So I don't know. So tomorrow there's supposed to be map testing, but I'm thinking I might, if I don't start conferences today, I will probably start conferences in the morning, because I think that they map test for ELA in the afternoon. So I might start doing those conferences, but I figured maybe I'd start today so that I can get through to everybody prior to. Plus, tomorrow in the morning, 3 of my kiddos, they have accelerated and double accelerated math. And so they actually go to middle school for the math. And so they're like gone all morning, and then they come back in the afternoon. So, I don't know. I might just do it today. But we'll see. I have to have a conversation with my kiddos about like expectations. I've started to notice that a lot of them, you know, well, not a lot, but some of them, as soon as they're done, they're like getting on their iPads and like playing games and things like that, and that's just not cool. But I know that it's just been really rough because it's the first few days of school and we haven't gotten into curriculum, so it's really rough to, you know, it's really rough to sorry, my car was acting weird. It's really rough to have them, you know, kind of doing that when we're doing, you know, all of these like community builders and like team building and things like that. But I think once we hit curriculum, I think it'll be a lot different, because then they'll actually have like must-dos and may-dos, and they'll actually have extended work that they can do and apps that they can go on, like iExcel and Dreambox and things like that. But I do want to kind of talk a little bit about those expectations and what we should and should not be doing. And maybe if they have that free time, they should be reading a book. And if they don't have a book, they can get one from the library that I have, or once they start doing library checkout, which I don't know what day she said. I'm gonna have to ask her. But yeah, so I should be at work in the next like 12 or so minutes. So I don't know if I'll record anything in the morning. It's just been really difficult to do because it's just like I'm trying to get everything ready. And normally, like I said, I'll get a moment and chat with you guys when I was at my old school and I had my own classroom. But now it's just like we're all here and everyone's in the morning trying to do stuff. And the last thing I want to do is be sitting there and talking to you guys, and other people are hearing my conversation. Not that it matters, but just, like I said, honoring everybody's space and just not being too extra when I don't need to be. So we'll figure it out. But yeah, if I don't check in with you guys later, I'll check in with you guys much later. My son has baseball practice today, and so I'll check in with you guys at that time. All right, hope you're having a great Tuesday. How's it going? So it's the end of the day. I'm talking really low because I have a colleague over there. But today is our ice cream social, and so I'm staying late. Sorry I didn't check in this morning. Took an Uber to work. Long story. I'll have to tell you guys about it later on today when I have the time, but I'm just in my classroom working on some stuff. So today we worked on, I guess I'll show you guys in a little bit, can't zoom in, but we worked on our first math lesson, which was exponents. Tomorrow we're going to be doing order of operation. Well, I guess not tomorrow because we have map testing. So we did map testing today for ELA. So we haven't done ELA yet, but we did our first unit in science and we did math today. So I'll show you a little bit about what we did, and yeah. So this is the lesson that we worked on today. We had powers and exponents. So we talked a little bit about like filling this in. I had them do the value first before we talked about the exponents. And then we kind of just went into the different language, and then we actually practiced these. And then we practiced some more of these, and then we ended up doing this self-assessment at the end. And then I assigned them this homework, just a few. So sorry I had to cut off. My colleague kind of was walking in and I didn't want to be in the middle of like my conversation, but I'm still here. It looks like I'm only the ones here. I don't know who else is volunteering for the ice cream social, but in about 15 minutes, I'm going to kind of wander around and see what they need me to do. But while I was here, I was very grateful because I was able to, well, let me show you. I put the labels on all of my desks. They look so pretty. I'm missing a couple of students, but they weren't here for me to have them do that. I also put up my learning targets. So those are it. And I made my anchor chart. Don't come for me with this anchor chart, but I was able to complete that. I also started putting pictures up around the room. So tomorrow they're going to be doing this, looking at organisms and how they react or interact with one another. And so I was going to take them outside to do it, but I thought this would be really cool to like have the pictures and then how I kind of come up with it. And I think I have a couple more over here. Show you really quickly. Yeah, so I have this one with the Finding Nemo and the anemone, and then I have one of a hummingbird. We talked a little bit today about like bees and pollination, so I think this one will be pretty easy for them. So right now I'm going to take a moment and do this anchor chart that I have, this jigsaw. I don't know if you can see it. There you go. I'm going to do that poster because we're going to read through a passage that's pretty long. And so we're going to read through it. And I didn't want to have them do it on their own. So I figured if they could work together and do the jigsaw strategy for Kagan, I think that would be really cool. Because then it'll give them the ability to work together and read through it. And I do have a couple of kids that I think are not the best readers, or like their reading level is pretty low. So this will kind of give them that confidence that they can read through this together, and it should be great. So let's see how that turns out tomorrow. I'll let you guys know. But for now, I'm going to make this anchor chart, and then I'll check in with you guys in a little bit. It is Thursday, August 22nd. One more day until Friday. So this week has been like my first official week because last week we started on a Friday, so we only have one day, and then we had the weekend. So this week has been my first official week. Yesterday was our first official curriculum, like where we started teaching curriculum. And so far so good. I have to get used to getting back into the swing of things. Not in terms of like school, but in terms of like, sorry, the sun got like super bright. But more so like in terms of teaching with curriculum. So, I don't know if I've told you guys this in previous vlogs, but most of the districts that I've been at, they have not had curriculum. So, well, I mean, technically I've only really been at 2 other districts besides the one I'm currently in. But when I was in the Chicago public school system, they did not have curriculum. And so, well, like, I guess the first school that I was at, they had curriculum for me because I taught science, and so they had interactive science. So I did have a curriculum for that, but that was all that I taught. So like I had never like used a curriculum for reading, math, whatever. So then my second year I was doing science and social studies. Now I don't remember, to be honest, if we did have a curriculum for social studies. I think they were I think at the time they were calling it social justice, but I don't know if that was the writing component. But anyway, so that was what I was teaching my second year. And like I said, it's not so much science, but more social studies is not really it's not like, I don't know, a lot of people don't really find it to be like a pressing curriculum to teach anymore. Like it's more so like just reading, math, and then of course they have science, because science is something that Illinois like recognized. They do like, or they do like a science test every year, whatever, or not every year, every few years. And so the district so when I finally started getting into teaching all content, one of the places I was at, they just kind of had like, they had a lot of supplemental stuff. Like it wasn't something that was like should have been a curriculum. It should have just been like a supplement to a curriculum. And so that's kind of what I've had. And then I've gotten to the point where I've had like curriculum that was like way too high for a lot of my kids. And so I never really used it. So this time around, we do have curriculum. We have, we do for math, for 6th grade, we do big ideas. For reading, they just adopted Common Lit, which I don't know about you, but I never knew that they had a curriculum. People usually only use it for like the passages and the online stuff or whatever. So, but yeah, they developed a whole curriculum, and so that's what we're using for our 6th grade, or for our middle school. And then we have iQuest for science, and then we have National Geographic World Studies or whatever for social studies, which again, didn't know they had a curriculum. So anyway, all this to say, I went from having barely any curriculum to having a plethora of curriculums. And so that is kind of what my challenge is right now, is sticking to the curriculum, because I was so used to just going off of what the standard needed, and I just kind of did my own thing. And now, so it's like now we have like a structure, which is not a bad thing, because it is nice. I feel like I'm less overwhelmed than walking in every day like, what am I doing with these kids today? So it's more so like now I have a plan. Like, do I stick to that plan completely? For the most part, other than like if I need to switch things up, like activity wise, like for example, we're supposed to be starting Common Lit today, and we're supposed to be doing, we're like introducing the unit. We're supposed to be doing a pre-writing assessment, and then we are supposed to be talking about the vocabulary in our books, and so, or for the unit. And so like I decided they wanted them to do like a agree disagree worksheet where like they read a statement and they strongly agree, strongly disagree, whatever. So I was like, I would much rather do that as like a 4-corner activity than just have them circle like strongly agree, disagree, only because I just feel like that would be, it's more of a visual of what we see, and you know, it's like less paper. So like little things like that where it's like I can supplement elsewhere, but for the most part, yeah. So just getting used to teaching to like a structured basal is going to be a little bit challenging. Not in a bad way though. I'm all for it, because since I haven't had it so long, it's like, it is nice to have like a plan. Anyway, I know, rant this morning. But yeah, so today we're introducing ELA. Today we're doing math testing in the morning at 10. So we'll probably end up just doing, we'll be coming in, we'll do our morning meeting, we'll start with science, we'll do our little thing that we're doing that I showed you guys yesterday with the index, or not the cart, with the pictures. They do have a passage that they're supposed to read. I'm going to do a jigsaw activity with that. So I'm going to have them, you know, each read their own paragraph and then kind of come back and talk about it. I wasn't sure whether I wanted them to answer questions about it. But I did want them to at least discuss what they read, rather than having them, because it is a really long passage. It's probably like, I don't know, I would say like maybe 10 paragraphs, give or take. But they're short, but it's like, it's a lot, especially for a kid who's probably not that good of a reader. So I figured this would be a good way for them to, it'd be a good way for them to kind of break them into that. But anyway, so yeah, so then we're doing that, and then math testing, and then in the afternoon we will be doing Common Lit, and then we will do social studies, and that's going to be our day. And then we're on till tomorrow, and then the weekend. My son has a baseball game this weekend, so it's his like first one of the season. I am excited but nervous at the same time. My son has kind of been on a little baseball block, and I don't know if this is just something new for him, but he's just been really struggling with hitting, and that was always a strong suit. And so I don't know, I'm a little worried that, and I mean, I don't put pressure on my son. Like, I'm like, hey, you know, you're going to try your best or whatever. But the only reason why I'm worried is because when he doesn't do well, you know, obviously his confidence is down, and he gets really sad and he cries, and, you know, he just doesn't, he beats himself up. And so I want him to do well for him, not because like I'm living vicariously through him, or I'm like one of those moms that are like, you have to do well. I want him to do well for him because he wants to do well. Excuse me. So that's kind of where I'm at. But yeah, so I'm gonna head to school. I'll probably check in with you guys later. I don't know if I'll check in with you guys at school, but if I get the chance to do so, or if I get to show you a little bit about what we're doing, I'll do that. So I hope you're having a fabulous Thursday, and I'll catch up with you guys in a little bit. Good morning and happy Friday. Don't mind the shirt. You guys already know the drill. My hair's wet. Don't want it touching my other shirt. I know, I'm weird. So, today is Friday. Yeah, so I'm super excited, super pumped, because finally hit the weekend. You know, surprisingly enough, I haven't really been too tired getting up in the morning. I think it hits me later on, but yeah, it hasn't been too, excuse me, hasn't been too crazy. So that's the plus. But, yeah, I just, I don't know. I'm feeling good about getting up enough time to go to work. Unlike, when I was working in my other school district where it was just like getting up early and then just knowing that no matter what time I left, like I still wasn't going to get there enough time to like do the things that I needed to. So I'm just very grateful that I was able to get up early enough, get to work, and I still have time and I don't feel so rushed. But yeah, I just wanted to come on here and say good morning. It's a beautiful sunny day outside. It's very nice and warm. It's like 60-ish degrees. It's supposed to be a high of 82 today. So this is like the part of the Midwest weather where it's like you're cold in the morning and you have a sweater, and then the afternoon you're like burning hot. So it's just like wishy-washy. So I have my little like splatter shirt on. I have my pants and then my Tevas. So yeah, I'm determining to make it a good Friday, a great Friday, and then into this weekend. So I'll catch you guys on the road. Hey friends, it is 4 o'clock now. I've been out for about an hour, but I stayed at work to kind of just do some last minute things and kind of grasp some last minute things that I needed to do for next week. But I'm actually driving home. I'm on my way home now. It is beautiful. It is 82 degrees outside, and it is going to be a great weekend. My son has baseball tomorrow, and so we might just practice a little bit with him this afternoon to kind of get him ready for tomorrow, and that is about it. I don't really have any plans for this evening or this weekend. I think mostly what I'm just going to do is I am just going to start planning for next week, because some of the issues that I kind of ran into today, and I guess just overall this past week, has been there's just been a lot of sorry, I'm like looking at traffic. So there's been a lot of like in and out in my room, and so like I have some students that are in our like dual language program, and back up a little bit. Yeah, traffic is just really crazy right now, so I can't seem to get going, so I'm more concentrating on that. Yeah, so anyway, yeah, so it looks like there was a lot of like moving parts this like today. For example, since we were doing map testing, today, kids that were we didn't do it today, we did it this week, but kids that needed to do a makeup, they were doing makeups, and so they were constantly pulling kids, and so it was just really difficult to kind of have a routine going, because a lot of kids were getting pulled in like a lot of directions, and then if they were done, they were coming back and they were asking what they were doing, and so it was just a whole like cluster of like things that were happening that were just out of my control. And then some of my students that I have that are in our dual language program, they so normally I guess they like, I don't know, I guess they have a certain amount of minutes, and so they are going to be in my room the majority of the time, but they were getting pulled beforehand, but now that they're in my room, but they weren't on my roster, they were on the other teacher's roster. So like our curriculum, I think I tell you guys, is Common Lit, and it's like a lot of the stuff is online, and so because of the stuff is online, a lot of the kids that aren't on my roster, they're not able to do the work. And so like 4 of my kids were just kind of sitting there because they're like, well, we can't read the passage online, and we can't do the questions because we don't have access. So, and then of course that just gives segue to those students that need a little bit more focus, like help, where they're just like, whenever the teacher's not like paying attention, you know, they start goofing off. And so it was just a whole thing. But anyway, but now that I have the ins and outs of it, I'm hoping that these kids will get on my roster, and then they'll be able to access it, and then we'll be able to kind of have more of a natural flow once that takes place. So, but that was my Friday. But yes, I'm hoping that I can go home, well, maybe not today, but like go home and kind of like regroup and refocus and start. Oh, a nice little ladybug. Oh, you want to go? I feel so bad. It's a ladybug in my window. I don't know if you can see her or him. It's like right, oh, I can't zoom in, but whatever. It's right here, and it's just like walking around. Oh, now it's on the outside of my window. Well, thanks for bringing me luck, darling. So anyway, I feel so bad because it's like the wind is just blowing. But anyway, so yeah, so that's my Friday. That's what is going on with me, and I hope that you guys had a great Friday. I think I'm gonna end this vlog here, and then just kind of yeah. So I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm so sorry if this like outro was like all over the place. My brain is just all over the place. But I hope you enjoyed this week. Let me know what you guys think. I'm trying to do a better job at like recording in my classroom without being so extra, or I don't know where the ladybug went. Without being so extra or like disrupting anybody. So, but yeah. But anyway, yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe. And thank you guys so much. I appreciate you guys tuning in. For those of you that tune in weekly, if you're new here, I'm so grateful that you stopped by. And if you're just someone that was just like interested in watching the video and don't like and subscribe, I still appreciate you taking the time to watch my video. So I'll see you guys in the next one.